Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Line of God's Daily Diary series. As usual, before I discuss what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to read you a chapter from the Bible. Today I will be continuing the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 34. The word which came unto Jeremiah from the Lord when Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon and all his army and all the kingdoms of the earth of his dominion and all the people fought against Jerusalem and against all the cities thereof, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, Go and speak to Zedekiah king of Judah, and tell him, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire. And thou shalt not escape out of his hand, but shalt surely be taken and delivered into his hand. And thine eyes shall behold the eyes of the king of Babylon, and he shall speak with thee mouth to mouth, and thou shalt go to Babylon. Yet hear the word of the Lord, O Zedekiah king of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of thee, Thou shalt not die by the sword, but thou shalt die in peace, and with the burnings of thy fathers, the former kings which were before thee, so shall they burn odors for thee, and they will lament thee, saying, Ah, Lord, for I have pronounced the word, saith the Lord. Then Jeremiah the prophet spake all these words unto Zedekiah king of Judah in Jerusalem, when the king of Babylon's army fought against Jerusalem, and against all the cities of Judah that were left, against Lachish and against Azekah, for these defenced cities remained of the cities of Judah. This is the word that came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, after the king Zedekiah had made a covenant with all the people which were at Jerusalem, to proclaim liberty unto them, that every man should let his manservant, and every man his maidservant, being an Hebrew or Hebrewess, go free, that none should serve himself of them, to wit, of a Jew his brother. Now when all the princes and all the people which had entered into the covenant heard that every one should let his manservant and every one his maidservant go free, that none should serve themselves of them any more, then they obeyed and let them go. But afterward they turned, and caused the servants and the handmaids whom they had let go free to return, and brought them into subjection for servants and for handmaids. Therefore the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, At the end of 7 years let ye go every man his brother a Hebrew, which hath been sold unto thee. And when he hath served these 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. But your fathers hearkened not unto me, neither inclined their ear. And ye were now turned, and had done right in my sight, in proclaiming liberty every man to his neighbor, and ye made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. But ye turned and polluted my name, and caused every man his servant, and every man his handmaid, whom he had set at liberty at their pleasure, to return, and brought them into subjection, to be unto you for servants and for handmaids. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Ye have not hearkened unto me, in proclaiming liberty every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim a liberty for you, saith the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine, and I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of the covenant, which they had made before me, when they cut the calf in twain, and passed between the parts thereof. The princes of Judah, and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and the priests, and all the people of the land, which pass between the parts of the calf. I will even give them into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and their dead bodies shall be for meat unto the fowls of heaven, and to the beasts of the earth. And Zedekiah king of Judah, and his princes, will I give into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, saith the Lord, and cause them to return to the city, and they shall fight against it, and take it, and burn it with fire. And I will make the cities of Judah a desolation without an inhabitant. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So what's very beautiful about this chapter is, I would just say that the central theme of this chapter is the Lord telling his people by way of Jeremiah, his prophet, that he says to them, they should let go their slaves. They should let go their manservants and maidservants, and that they should go be free. And so what do the Jews of this time do? They let them go, however, then they enslave them once more. And that is exactly what the Lord is not okay with. So the exact passage is here in Jeremiah 34:11, which reads, "But afterward they turned and caused the servants and the handmaids whom they had let go free to return, and brought them into subjection for servants and for handmaids." And so the Lord's word comes upon them once more, and he gives a judgment unto them. He talks about how they've polluted his name. In Jeremiah 34:17, "Therefore thus saith the Lord, Ye have not hearkened unto me in proclaiming liberty every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim a liberty for you, saith the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine, and I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth." He talks about all those men that he made this covenant with, that who transgressed his covenant, that he will give them into the hands of the enemies. And so this is another beautiful example of how the Lord, in the Old Testament, you hear his voice directly when he speaks. For example, in this case by way of his prophet Jeremiah. And he issues a command where he says, "Let the slaves go free." And he also gives that example of how after he brought his people out of Egypt, he established that law. If you recall, if you've been following along in the series, there is guidance from the Lord where he talks about, at the end of 7 years, let every man his brother an Hebrew which hath been sold unto thee, let him go free, after he served 6 years. And additionally, for example, there was another idea of that. I think they said, let the debts be forgiven. I think every 7 years they were supposed to forgive the debts as well, like monetary debts. So the Lord offers guidance like this, right? And unfortunately, his people do not follow him. And that is something that is, an example of human rebelliousness and disobedience against the guidance of the Lord. And so the God is not mocked, right? So the Lord gives a consequence unto his people. And in this case, he's going to deliver those who transgressed his covenant into the hand of their enemies. As it says here in Jeremiah 34:17, to the sword, to the pestilence. So that's an example of how the Lord's justice comes upon those who sin against him. And another thing that I thought was very beautiful was this. In Jeremiah 34:16, he says, "But ye turned and polluted my name." So one of the common themes in the Bible, a very common theme, is that victory does not come from strength of numbers, but from the Lord thy God. And throughout the Old Testament you see that. And even the New Testament. It's not like in the New Testament scriptures that Christians are the numerical power that they've become on earth as of the time of this recording, but they were few in numbers. And so the idea is it is their God Jesus, through his works, his miracles, and his perfection, that he is perfect, that he serves God with a perfect heart, that there is no sin in him, that is why he talks about how the God in me, he doeth the works. So that is one of the themes. And here it says, Jehovah says, "Ye turned and polluted my name." So that idea that this multitude is polluting the good name of Jehovah, and he will not tolerate that. And so that's where I'll go ahead and end the Bible reading there for today, and transition over to what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Dive video. Since yesterday's Daily Dive video, I worked at my core. I uploaded and scheduled 5 workout videos, and I have created this Daily Dive video for 2/4/24. And with no further achievements since yesterday's Daily Dive video, I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light to be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.